Joining for the first time or back for more. Whichever it is, hi, hello, welcome. I have work to do. I have been working on this mouthwashing piece on and off, operative word here being off, for the last year or so. Maybe a little less than a year if I'm being generous. However long it's been, that is still quite a bit of time to be dragging my damn feet. And I figure with the game's first anniversary coming up and me always accepting bangers into my portfolio, I would say that it is in my interest to get this done. So that is what I'm going to try to do. And in the spirit of co-working, you should probably also be working on a thing that you would like to get done. Or will get done. If not, that's fine. I can't tell you what to do. I don't fucking care. Alright. We need to do something about this garland of celebration triangles. Even though it is just kind of like noise in the background, I would still like for it to serve a function. Because that could work. I'm also trying to avoid a tangent like this going into Anya's hat. Then we can just extend this little blue Dorito. I might be a hater. You know what genre of short form art video that I hate? Sorry, I'm a hater. What are the texture? Oh, it sure is. Sometimes that happens. This texture has little splotches, for lack of a better term, just kind of sprinkled all throughout. And sometimes I forget. I'll see it and I'll be like, "What the fuck? I didn't make that mark." And then I check the texture and it's like, "Oh, surprise! It was there." I feel like the waist that I have given Anya is a bit short, so I'm gonna extend it a little. Let me double check her jumpsuit again. What does it look like? Is there a belt detail or did I make that up? Yes, there is. There is a belt detail. Good. I have Anya headcanons. One of them being she is Slavic, whether like from Eastern Europe or her parents are from there and she lives somewhere else. Anya's a pretty name. What is that what is that a diminutive for? Because that is a diminutive name, right? That's not like the full name. Or I guess it could be, but I don't know, I'm talking out my ass. But yeah. Slavic. I think specifically I think of East Slav, not necessarily South Slav. Will I be put on a watch list if I admit that I did in fact look up Shelley Duvall hands for a reference that I could use? Want to make sure that Anya has those as well. Because right now, I mean earlier, I guess, I was seeing more of my hand. I'm not used to that long finger life, you know? I don't have long fingers, so I don't know what that's like. I feel like once I have done enough work on this for tonight, I will have time just to do whatever. And unfortunately, I've hit that point in my life where playing League is a source of recreation. I mean, I guess it could be, I guess it is better than, I don't know, doing drugs, selling drugs, um, talking to an ex, getting hit by a car. I don't know. Like, I'm sure there are worse things that I could be doing for fun. I am trying to get as close to that model possible. I always wondered what the process for ripping models from stuff is like. Is it hard? Is there like a whole complicated process in like Unity or something? What is the process for ripping a 3D model from a DS game, for example, or a PS1 game? Like, how does that work? I don't think I've ever earnestly worn a party hat. Not as a child, and definitely not as an adult, so I have to look at references to see how this contraption works. A hat string or to not hat string? That is the question. So Anya is looking okay. I probably will come back to her later to just polish her off. But she's in an alright state. The anatomy on this arm on the back is annoying me a little, but well, I may as well fix it now that I'm here. So before I move on to another part, I think I will actually just take a look at that fucking arm. Alright, Anya. Where is your back arm? Wee, that is not how you use the lasso. No, my bad. Okay. That's better. There we go. Yeah, it's like too short in the position that it's in. How do I remedy this though? Do I move it to the left? Let me try that and then fill in the blanks, then see what it looks like. We can start by unlocking that layer. Yeah, there we go. So it's like it kind of, well, even that's kind of weird. Hold on. Okay, that needs to be longer, I think. Ugh. I'd like to apologize in advance if I just start breaking out into Pink Pantheress. Fancy that. I don't know what it is. It's taken a hold of my brain. And there's nothing I can do. I know damn well that's not how that fold looks like. I'm just gonna guess though. I will fix it later. How far do Anya's sleeves go? Let me double check that real quick. The sleeve flares out towards the end, but there is some wrist action. It's not like totally covered, so let me account for that. Just a little hint of wrist. Voilà. Poignet. Voici le poignet d'Anya de Mouthwashing. Sometimes I get poignet and poing, P-O-I-N-G, mixed up. They're both related to the hand. I believe poing is like a fist, right? And poignet is the thing that you put bracelets on. Anyways, sorry. That was French with Lynx pitaya. Where is the seam on the shoulder? The sleeve, rather. Model check. Is there even a seam on the model? Doesn't seem like there is. It's just a lot of folds. Well, since this is a sort of jumpsuit, I suppose I can just add a seam. The examples I'm looking at, there is generally a seam where the shoulder and the sleeve are. As is the case with almost every shirt, long sleeve thing in existence. I feel like that's not really taught enough explicitly to younger, well, not younger, but like beginning artists who are working with characters. I feel like people forget that seams are a thing, like seams on clothing. So you'll have these designs that don't make a lick of fucking sense in terms of how that garment would work in reality. And sometimes it can be fun. Sometimes that can be like it can be nice to not necessarily work with the bounds of reality all the time. But anyways, yeah, I feel like seams and garment construction should be emphasized more in character design. It's like, hey, if you were to have someone make a cosplay replica of this garment, would they be able to figure it out? I don't know. Things like that. And that's another tepid take from yours truly. Okay. I'm getting a little bit of, I've been working on this part a little too long fatigue, so I am actually just going to leave Anya where she is and then move on to something else. I might just work from left to right, really. My left to right. I'm realizing that I have the wrong placement of this stripe here. That's still a stripe, right? Even if it wraps around the... Anyways. It should start like here. Why does that look lumpy? What am I doing that's making that look lump and bump? That might be a little strong, but I can tone it down in a bit. Quite the shiny party hat. Like I can feel what kind of material that is. Probably looks insane out of context. Oh, no, it's fine. Okay, the lump and bump really is starting to get to me. What if I airbrush it? I have this very arbitrary rule in my head that I should not be reliant or overly reliant on the airbrush tool. But let's be real. We love the airbrush tool. So very useful. I remember when I was first starting how to digitally paint and stuff, I did not know what hard and soft edges were. And so I would really use the fuck out of the airbrush tool and then not understand why my paintings were so fuzzy looking. Very subtle, like it's not even there. That's better. That is better. Okay, so that was the move. Just a little bit of this. Not really a rim light. I would not call that a rim light, right? That's... What is the actual term for that? This kind of light here on the edge. I'm forgetting. But there's some of that. Better to know that it's there than to know the term. Okay, is that better? Maybe it's more congruent. See? And the reference that the cone is kind of at a bit of an angle, or the hat rather. It is a cone, but you know what I mean. Well, I'm scared. I'm just gonna leave it the way that it is. If I need to change something, I'll change something later. If you have been staring at the plates and cups and mentally screaming because they are completely on the wrong plane, like it does not at all look consistent with the perspective. I know. I'm about to fix it. Let's start with Anya's plate. I feel like it should be flatter. Maybe something like that, rather than like that, because this is wrong. Now let's go to Daisuke. Same problem. I feel like his needs... Oops, that's the wrong setting. His needs to be flatter to the table. Like that? I want to say like that. So rather than like this, like that. I think it could be pushed even more, actually. And similarly, kind of just slightly off the table. No, not like that. Like some of that. Maybe. Am I fucking it? Okay. I actually had to think about this, and I had to look it up. Because my first instinct about the plates was, oh, these are ceramic. And then I thought about the context of like a shitty birthday party. I was like, oh, maybe they're paper. But then I realized that they're in space, and it's like, if they're paper plates, that would imply that they would have to find a way to dispose of it. The space situation, and the fact that the kitchen of the Tulpar does have a sink, I would say that these are ceramic. I would say that these are ceramic and they just wash them, like they just do the dishes. Wow, that was a really long-winded way of saying, I think the plates are ceramic. I think the plates in mouthwashing are ceramic. If anyone has any arguments for why the plates would be paper in space, please feel free to let me know, because I am curious. Is it Swansea or Swansea? Isn't that a place in Wales? Although the way his dialogue is written, it doesn't really sound Welsh to me. Maybe I just haven't been around or been exposed to Welsh English. But I feel like Swansea's speaking patterns are very, like, southern United States. I feel like I need to fix that cup before I do her plate. I don't know what it is. I know it's very arbitrary, the order that I do this. But the goblin in my brain is like, ooh, you gotta take a look at that cup first. Yeah. Yeah, let me look at the cup real quick. Cause that looks wrong. Like I feel like I should see more of the, what do you call this? Is this the lip of the cup? No. I don't know. The opening, I guess. The hole of the cup. I feel like I'd be seeing more of it. Ugh. Blech. Alright, whatever, I'll just come back to it. I think it would go something like this. And then that shade in the little inner part would be here. Yes, good. That's leagues better than what I had earlier. And then a little bit of blue on Anya and Swansea's plate. Okay. Yes. Plates. Those are plates. I just heard one of my plants drop a leaf, and I want to know which one of these bitches it was. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it was definitely my goldfish plant. I can see the evidence. Ma'am, why are we dropping leaves? What are you unhappy about? It's hot and it's humid. Isn't this like perfect fucking conditions for y'all? Anyways. I'm so glad I don't have a flowering plant that produces sap. I think about Hoya owners. I forget which variety it is, but there's one that has this deep purple sap, almost like a red purple. So first time owners of that plant are very alarmed, as you can imagine, when it just starts bleeding. So Daisuke's cup is a whole mess in terms of perspective, so we're gonna fix that. Let me line sculpt this, maybe that'll make it easier. Huh. This... Yeah, shit. Okay, oh, I don't know. We'll make it exist first and then make it good. That doesn't seem like the right shape. Why did I make it a funnel? Hold on, that's not the right shape. That does not look like the right shape. Okay, hold on, wait. Am I making it worse? I might actually just be making it worse. Do you ever... do I want to continue this thought? I will. I'm brave. Do you ever find like a random speck of salt on you from a food that you had eaten earlier? You pop it in your mouth as a nice little treat. Am I a fucking goat? And why did I bring that up? Because it just happened. It literally just happened. I zoomed out and had a physical reaction to the way I had this part of the lip. Ugh. I just realized I have the cap color wrong. I'm pretty sure I have the cap color wrong. It's meant to be white, right? I'm gonna have to thin out that bottle, aren't I? Kind of like a shampoo bottle almost. 'Cause I have a whole chonker here. It's very, Katterudesu. It's very Calpico, if anyone is familiar with that drink. What a, what a peculiar shape. Okay, cap needs to be taller. Or not taller, but also thinner. Okay, and it flares out at the sides a little bit. Oh, liquefy tool. What would I do without you? Make really bad art. That's what I would do without it. You know, there was a time, like years ago, in the first version or so of Clip Studio Paint, where there was no liquefy tool. Like, if you messed up, you had to manually move and transform that shit around. I don't know why, but for years, I just insisted on not updating Clip. Especially when they did that thing with the, like, licenses and the new versions and the older ones would not receive updates, etc., etc. And I didn't realize that I was missing out on the fucking liquefy tool that they had added in to the newer versions. And as you might be able to tell, because I'm using it right now, I did end up upgrading, and I use it all the time. Yes. I did that. I fixed that relatively fast. Okay. Cool. The moment this looks less like a can and more like a instant ramen, I need to trust the process. This will look like a can. I will sell this house today. What is that from? Forget what that's from. You're counting the amount of times that I've undue just now. Just know that I will meet you in the fucking parking lot. Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah, whatever. Man, even when my posture is fine, my back is still doing things. Not pleasant things. This must look crazy on the body. I don't care. I needed that. You know what? It might be because I think more than my back, it's... No, that's a lie. I was gonna say more than my back, it's my neck. It's both. It's both. Because I am sitting in a way, and also my tablet is positioned in a way where I am craning the neck down to look at the screen, which is perhaps not great for everything on the other side of me. Hey, 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 what is that? What is that from? What is that from? I feel like the interior design of the Tulpar is not talked about nearly enough. I love that it reads very mid-century modern slash space age. Very appropriate because they are in space. And there is that secondary horror of having to do awful risky things in the name of capitalism slash consumerism. I don't know. I just feel that the interior design choice is neat, and you can very easily make connections to narrative things in the game. I'm assuming the antenna is a gray. Yep. These in-game screenshot references are like 10 pixels in total. What the fuck? Oh, was I on the wrong layer doing stuff? It's like a layer of aquaphor. Can I just say? Aquaphor over Vaseline all the fucking way. I remember there's this one time where I was just wrecking the fuck out of my skin with like clay masks and like acids that I did not need on my face. And it like fucked up my skin barrier for like a week or so. I don't even know how to describe it. It was like I had a perpetual sunburn. All of that to say, the only thing that made it feel a little better was Aquaphor. So Aquaphor has been very kind to my skin. And it's very kind to my lips. I use it every night. Okay, surely that looks fine now. If I don't think about it too hard, it is passable. But I guarantee you I will find something to be annoying about. If I'm quiet during these parts, it's because I am currently listening to the Pink Pantheress Tiny Desk concert. Ooh. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This arrangement of... Is this tonight? Yes. Oh, this is a good arrangement. This is so rude. I'm listening to like a whole thing of music and you're listening to me talk about the music. That's crazy. Sorry. the the sketched out vestiges of Curly on the table from when this was a rough color key cracking my shit up. It's like in the table. Ah. Okay. I think it is Curly's turn. He's just been sitting here very patiently while I've been working on the shit on the table. And he definitely needs another pass. He's not ready to slay just yet. Gotta say, it does tickle me that people associate this game with that one song by Imogen Heap. Mostly because my personal connection to that song is when I first listened to that song many, many, many years ago, it was during a time where I didn't really understand the lyrics. And honestly, it's a beautiful song. Well, it's been a while since I've actually just like sat down and listened to it, but as far as I know, great melody. Love that shit. Oh, fucking. My earbuds just went, no battery. That does mean I have to switch headphones, though. That is annoying. Do medical gowns have seams on the sleeve? I see that there's, in one of the examples I'm looking at, I see that there's seams like going down from the neck to the shoulder. But what about like the actual sleeves themselves? I need to see the pattern of a medical gown real quick. And that's on attention to detail. Alright. I took a day to just not look at or work on this at all. So I'm coming back, all cold brewed up, with fresh eyes. It is time to begin anew. Are the folds folding the way that I want them to? I feel like... I was gonna say that they feel more like they're bunching rather than laying just like flat against him. This is perhaps just part of the ugly phase. It's fine. If I make enough marks, perhaps it will start to look fine. Maybe a little flap going this way. And then just a little bit of a wave onto that sleeve. And then have that fold kind of come down onto the seam. Or not the seam, the hem. I am genuinely curious if there... or if anyone on the dev team has ever quantified or thought of the gains that this man lost after the incident. He was kind of buff. He was kind of buff before everything. He was kind of stacked, you know? I keep forgetting to clean up the table behind Curly's ass. So I should probably do that now, huh? We're just going to indicate splotchy wood and call it a day. And that's what I call that motherfucker. Whenever I'm using the preview in OBS to see where I'm going while painting, it's very reminiscent of, you know, back in the day using what was I using back in the day? Wacom Bamboo Fun Pen and Touch, is that what that was called? And I think later on I had a one of the Intuoses. I think I still have it somewhere. There's just something with the wire. That's a little fucked. Or was it the pen? I don't remember. Okay. Here we go, I suppose. Just erasing little bits of it. Like that. Alright, make sure it's not spilling out over the edges. And then just a little bit of erasing in some parts. So it should taper as Curly's body begins going into the vanishing point. And then I'm thinking that the pattern is more pronounced when it's in the light. So maybe when it's in shadow, you can't really see it. It's very subtle. My butt is starting to hurt. from doing all this sitting. That's how I know I need my government mandated activity break. You should, if back and body hurt, get up. Go piss. Go piss if you need to. Go, like, take a walk. Go feed your animals if you have any. Go say hi to your partner if you have a partner. So someone's fan cast of Curly, I thought was quite good, and that is Jeremy Allen White. I have taken it upon myself to look for Mr. Jeremy Allen White's teeth. You know, I really do mean went through the trouble because Getty Images wasn't showing me shit. Wasn't showing me jack shit. I tried looking up Jeremy Allen White smile, and you know what it showed me? All motherfucking closed mouth smiles. It's like, man, that doesn't help me. If I'm looking for this man's teeth, that is not very helpful, is it? I found a little clip of him on YouTube doing a monologue, an impassioned monologue for The Bear. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's a film. I don't know if it's a show. But he's monologuing in it, and he opens his mouth wide enough for me to be like, ah, there are your teeth. And they go in. Not like that. Okay, so now that Curly is in an acceptable place, or now, it is time to shift gears to Swansea, my favorite crew member. Always very interesting painting hooded eyes? Is that what you call that feature? Where the skin drapes over where your eyelid is? I don't know, there's something about it that's interesting to me because if you're just drawing it, it's kind of hard to capture. But when you're painting it, you can definitely, I mean, if you do it right, you can see that bit of skin hanging over. I don't know. I really like people's unique face traits. That's the end of that thought. Is that reader's contempt? Say the answer in your heart. Scream at me in your heart. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You know what I just thought about? Does Swansea have body hair on his arms? I don't think that's a detail I have ever paid attention to, but you bet your ass I'm gonna look. Does Swansea Mouthwashing have hair on his arms? Okay, let's pop open the model. Oh, 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 I'm seeing some body hair texture. If my eyes did not deceive me. Not me looking at my own arm to see what direction the hair is going in. But alas, I have actually literally not even 2 hours ago shaved it and I forgot. We need to go thicker. We need to go thicker. It's giving werewolf man. Not quite what I'm going for here. We may need to increase the meat. I gave this hand a big ass thumb. I either gave this hand a big ass thumb or I gave the other hand too short of a thumb. Okay, we'll just bring this one down a bit. And also, more meat. Once again, I don't think I've added enough meat. I can't give this man dainty little twink fingers. Not to peel back the curtain, but when I have to record for short form, just because it makes editing on my part easier, I take the overlay off and I recorded a longer session without the overlay on, i.e., probably should not be used for this type of video. And I just want to let you know that I went on a whole thing about porn shading. Not that I know what that looks like. Anyways, damn it. Damn it! And I know that's not going to make it into the whatever short form slop I edit together. But yeah, I wanted to let you know what you were missing out on. Okay. That should be enough of a pass on Swansea. Like, obviously I will go in, like, towards the end and clean everybody up. But, for now, I think we can move on to... Sweet, sweet flower boy. Daisuke. This is probably not at all revolutionary. Like, I imagine that this is a thought that other people have had. But, one of my big headcanons for Daisuke in particular is that he is culturally Hawaiian. So he is of Japanese origin. Possibly maybe also mixed with native Hawaiian. Raised in Hawaii. I also support the idea that he is mainland Japanese, but was raised by maybe like one Filipino parent. I can see that. I can absolutely see that. Now, how the hell would this hat sit on his fluffy ass surfer hair? His fluffy ass Yosuke Hanamura hair. I genuinely wonder if that was one of the inspirations for his design. I'm having some trouble interpreting some of the damage to one of his shoulders. Like on the clothing specifically. Like I can't tell if that's meant to be ripped or burned up. Kind of hard to tell with the texture. I will do my best though. Why do I feel like I gave him a set of fuck me right ups? We can fix it. It's okay. I need to share the greatest amount of scuff I have ever experienced while trying to record. I was happily looking at images of Mr. Shohei Ohtani. I don't know how, while copying over the images of his hands into my PureRef doc, I somehow fat finger Waludo, which is what allows me to have this body. And I somehow end up flipping up my model right around and showing whole. I am broadcasting whole. I am uncouth. I am palm pudding out for everyone to see. I just remembered his little button-up has a pattern on it. Let's work smarter, not harder. Let me find the texture for his shirt, which I think is just like a bunch of hibiscuses and plum trees. Ah, there we are. Okay. In the ref, tree is kind of like along where his tricep would be. Okay, we're gonna call this Daisuke back arm pat. Daisuke main pat, I guess. Yeah, that'll work. What percentage do I want this at? I feel like 50 is too strong. Maybe 35. That should be good. Okay, now we take this off so that we can see the rendering underneath. Okay. Yeah, I like a bit of texture towards the top rather than just having it be flat and then go into a swoop. Maybe that's just a bit of baked in shading, but I would like to believe that his roots are dark because he dyes his hair. Yeah. Yeah, we'll give him a darker root actually. I'm kind of at that stage in this illustration where I can feel the end. The end is near. The end is coming. And I just need to fight through the last bits of the ugly phase. You ever put on a film, especially a horror film, that is much, much worse than what you expected? Worse, not that it's poorly done, but that it's almost too well done. Like it's horrific. It's awful to watch. I feel like for a while, that was Martyrs for me. But recently, not even 3 hours ago, I put on The Loved Ones because I was watching someone's female villain tier list and I thought some of their rankings were really funny and I didn't recognize some of the faces. So yeah, I put it on and I think about how vindictive I am. I've certainly had my fair share of not so great thoughts about things that I would do to people if I had nothing to lose. Sorry, I should have specified people that I hate and people that have brought me much suffering, and not just people in general. I promise. And then I watch these films and I'm like, oh, I'm fine actually. Oh, I'm fine. Like, there's a level of emotionally unstable that I could be. And really, the people that I hate should be grateful that I'm not there. And I don't think I'll ever get there. Just realized you were not able to see what I was doing. Wow, my camera control is truly abysmal as usual. Sorry. I thought I would be done with this sooner. Shout out to the me from 2 to 3 weeks ago who believed with her whole heart that this would be finished by, I don't know, mid-September. Fuck. Well, that didn't happen. That's okay. It's very tangenty. I don't like that. God, the glare is so fucking bad on my tablet right now. I can't see shit unless I move the shit all the way towards me. Okay, so that's gone. Good. And now you just have to draw the top of that blue balloon. Why do we have balloons? Why is that a thing that we do? And why did we decide that balloon was the thing to put out during celebrations? Like, what is the history on that? I really have to be careful about the contrast here. Like, I really need to make sure that this background is dark enough for these guys to pop out. Also, I don't want everything to be generally dark, even though I think it is pretty, like, dim in the source material, I mean. But this is an illustration, so for storytelling purposes, we will do whatever the fuck we want. Now, how to shape the foam so that it brings your eye to all the bullshit? That is the question. Yeah, I want to point to the action. But I don't know if I want it like that. Let me free transform this. Maybe that's the smarter transformation tool here. Fuck. We are going to be here all night, shaping foam. Okay, if I squint, it does kind of do that action, which is what I want. I'll take it for now. And now I can paint in the little, what do you call that? Shit bits. You might be asking yourself, Lynx, why aren't you using a little splatter brush, a little ABR, to add a little spackling effect? Because that would look like utter fucking shite, and I don't want that. Sometimes, you can get away with the brush or the pattern on top. But other times, paint that shit in. Whatever makes the most sense for what you're doing, do that. Don't just do the thing that is easier. That's not always the solution, I find. was looking for a ref of a very specific poster, an in-game poster that's supposed to go in this space here. And I had to turn off my music because I felt that the music was preventing me from being able to see. Oh, I don't know about this. Oh, I don't know about this. Oh, I don't know about this. I'm starting to regret this freehanding thing, but I'm gonna keep going because I'm an asshole. And anyways, it's in the background. The background's gonna be fairly darkened up. Make way for the figures and all the action on the table. So maybe it doesn't really matter. Maybe this can look like absolute shit garbage, and it doesn't matter. What is the etymology on polo? Why is it called a polo? Is it named after someone? Or is that like a Latin term? Polo? Polo. Polo shirt. Marco Polo. Water polo. What does the polo refer to in water polo? Oh, I have so many questions. Polo etymology. Polo of Anglo-Indian origin from Balti polo meaning ball is an ancient South Asian horseback ball game resembling field hockey. The water rugby came to be called water polo based on the English pronunciation of the Balti word for ball, pulu. Okay. Anyways. Back to what the fuck I was doing. Do we have thumb? Is that thumb? Or is that forefinger? this looks like shit. Let's just be real. Let's just put our cards on the table. And I keep going. And I show up. Do I care for blocking out the text here? Because there is text here. It says Polly says don't be daft. How much do I care about actually writing that in? Is this absolutely necessary? Where would I even put it? Ugh. Eesh, that's kind of awkward, ain't it? Does it have to be smaller, perhaps? Oh, maybe that's it. Also, I think this banner on the poster side, I feel like it's too low. Am I crazy? It's gonna be really awkward if I don't end up keeping that balloon. I don't feel like running through all the changes that I did off camera. Spoon, clap position change, more model accurate bled. I think that was about it. I think it's just like rendering stuff, addition of stuff, and now I just have to final pass everything. Seems like a job for the lasso tool. This is some, Loish von Barlow shit. While I contemplate using this texture, can I share with everyone what the current name of this file is that I'm working on? Mouthwashing Party Study. Final Passes. Fuck you. BSOD. Because I did run into at least 2 blue screens of death trying to record footage as I was working. 'Cause that's fun. I might have to take a look at my RAM sticks or something. Fuck it, I'll keep it. I think it looks alright. I just have to be mindful of the color temperature. That's kind of nice. It's finally the weather autumn should be. Like, I had to grab a blanket because my legs were cold. I do appreciate that. I feel like I could stop here and it would be fine. But do you really think I'm going to do that? Do you think I'm just going to look at this and be fine with it like a normal person? No. It's over when I say it's over. Cool, so everything's merged, and all that's left is to make the last edits. I think I've done it. I think I have arrived at a finished illustration, and I should export. It's completely possible that I will make some post-export edits if I feel like something looks off. But, in the meantime, it's exporting time. Okay, date. We'll just call this mouthwashing party study. Is this a glorified screenshot redraw? Perhaps. I don't care. A lot of effort was put into it. Okay, mouthwashing party study. First export. First export. Web view. This would be the 45 one, so this would be web view smaller. First export full, no texture. Great. So I went back in. I sure did go back in, just like I thought I would after that initial export. And essentially I've just fixed up some stuff with Curly that I thought looked weird after repaying a sleep debt. So I started here, and I thought he looked a bit small, and his positioning on the table was kind of strange. So I went here, made him bigger, and mind you, this is all in one layer. And somehow we've ended up here. I might be gaslighting myself right now, but I think this does look better. So maybe this is where I'll be done. Maybe this is done. Because I'm over it. I'm very over this. I don't want to look at this anymore. Okay, well, done I shall be, done I am. I'm declaring right now, effective immediately, that I'm done with this. I'm done. I feel that I have received enough of an ass kicking from this glorified screenshot redraw. Parentheses lighthearted. I would like for the ass kicking to stop now, please. So before I leave you in peace, I want to thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end. Because I know this shit's long. So thank you. I hope you got work done. Even if you didn't finish necessarily, I bet that thing you're working on is really cool. Even if you don't think so. Alright, I'm gonna go die. Or something. But I'll be back. Alright, bye.